5 years ago, Ron Bullis and his business partner, they started Lifeworks Advisors with 0 revenue and 0 clients. And now they're one of the fastest growing wealth management firms in the US. And a big part of that is because they figured out this lead engine and how they attract clients. Their core offer is a subscription model, but they are clear on that difference between the value of planning and also managing assets. So many of their clients will they'll start on the subscription model and then they'll ask to have their assets managed. And that actually leads to AUM for Lifeworks. I believe it's more than this now, but last I saw was around 200 million or above 200 million. And that happened in just a few years. And it's growing rapidly every year. So be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss the other videos in the series with Ron on how to build enterprise value, even if you're a firm with less than 100 clients, and then how to future-proof your business as well. I'll see you in the video. Where we're finding clients, you guys are national. How did you do that? A concerted effort to focus nationally. What did you do to get there? Or maybe, what did you do that failed, and then did you have success right away? How did you do it?
So, very rudimentary. We met a company that specialized in helping financial advisors build out sales funnels on Facebook. And so the first big shift I had was, what's a sales funnel, right? I mean, we were exiting a large national firm where how we had been trained to develop business was asking for referrals. Nothing wrong with that, right? We had 0 experience in marketing. We had 0 experience in advertising. And other than, kind of putzing around on Facebook for myself, I had no knowledge of this. And so we go to a presentation from this consulting agency that does this. And part of that, light bulb went off in my head of, well, if I want to build a national practice, what's the best way to meet people? Well, it's social media. And we launched our first national social media campaign in summer of 2018. And it bombed miserably, right? Because the things that we thought, we do holistic financial planning, we have a custom financial planning process, we're better than blah, 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 they can complete swing and misses. Right? So we stayed committed to it. It cost us some money running ads and trying to figure this out. And that would be one of the keys I would say to anybody listening that maybe thinks, well, that wouldn't work for me. It will, it can, but you have to stick with it. And you have to be willing to go through this iterative process, this kind of lean entrepreneurial mindset where you test something and see how it goes. And then you iterate on it really rapidly and then you build from there. So we ended up figuring out, hey, we do something that retirees really, really find valuable, right? Which is we run a hedged equity strategy for clients. And so we ended up building out this campaign that said, hey, instead of buying annuities or going to cash, trying to time the market or buying life insurance, you can have downside protection on your equity portfolio, right? And it was almost as simple as that. Put it out there and it was bang, the thing exploded. We had more people calling us and more business than we could actually handle. And so we've had some evolution since then where we've ramped it up, we've ramped it down, but we've gotten to the space now where we believe we have a fairly predictable pathway to building clients and looking at it from an investment perspective. When I put in X thousands of dollars, I expect to get this much back in revenue, right? This, we measure net new revenue and net new assets from clients. And so that's something that it's not a perfect lever. We can't just, dump $1 million on it tomorrow and expect it to scale because there's still service pieces to it and there's still, the size of the market we're going after. But it is a very powerful tool for getting very laser focused in who you want to serve.
Gotcha. So in the beginning, summer of 2018, you started with Facebook and you started with ads.
Yep.
And then you iterated and then you found one that clicked, and that's been the thing that's been working since then.
Yep, correct.
Have you had to change it along the way since you found the first one that worked, or have you kind of had a consistent go-to type ad?
Yeah, we've had some consistency around the messaging, but we've had to change a lot of things, right? So part of what happens in this space is, Apple changes the iOS security protocols, right? And then that changes what kind of data is being shared, right, through cookies and pixels and stuff like this, which then changes how you have to find, identify, and meet people. Facebook made changes around, what type of data you used to be able to target. So there's this kind of technological layer that's constantly moving, and it's hard to keep up with, right? Then you have just what consumers want and where their mindset is, right? And that's something that's also moving, but maybe not as fast, right? There's probably some continuity. I think there's a longer run there. So we have found some messaging that I would say is a little bit more evergreen, but we've had to change the techniques and the tactics for how we put the message in front of prospects.
Interesting. Okay. Last question on the Facebook. Are they going straight to a meeting? Are they going to a webinar?
Yeah, great question.
What was the initial thing that was of interest to them?
So when we first started, the funnel was essentially see an ad on Facebook, go to a pre-recorded video, what we call like a video sales language, a VSL, video sales letter, and they would watch that, and then the offer was book a meeting with our team and get this, and this, right? We then pivoted in 2019, late 2019, early 2020, to start doing live webinars, right? Where they could then watch a short video if they wanted to on a landing page, but the offer was reserve a spot for one of our live webinars. And then in the live webinar, we will make an offer, right? Here's what you get if you book a meeting with us, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this kind of thing. Interestingly enough, we are just starting to explore pivoting back to running very short, more like vignette type of videos. So think like 1 to 3 minutes or maybe 2 to 5 minute long videos in a series that somebody can watch and then decide to book a meeting with us and have a conversation. The live webinars still work really well, but there's a fair amount of commitment to like technology, lighting, cameras, mics, structure, space for it. And if we can get to the same objective in terms of reaching people and explaining our value proposition and having them select us, which is one of the most unique things about this. If we can do that where they're watching a video 24/7 on their time, that's better than probably the live webinar where it's restricted to, hey, we're doing 1 a week or 2 a month or something like that. So we're testing going back to, and I think there's some good indications that we might wind up more focused on delivering like educational videos specific to topics, but still promoting those as paid ads. So not unlike what you're doing kind of on YouTube, but essentially bundling that and then running posts on Facebook, Instagram, other social media platforms.